Hey guys, I just wanted to pop in and do a quick currently inked. I ended up cleaning a bunch of my fountain pens over the weekend and because they had either run out of ink or I just wasn't using them. And so these are all the pens that I inked up ready to use next. So our first one is the Kaweco Sport in Macchiato. And this one is inked with this really interesting ink. This is Pen BBS in, I think it's pronounced Guilin, but I am not sure. And this one is the Kaweco Skyline Sport in Macchiato, and this is a double broad. So this is a really nice combo, and this ink is super weird. It starts off like this really green tinged sepia, and as it dries, and even kind of after it's smudge proof, it still continues to sort of warm and deepen, and so it becomes this more of a warm sepia rather than this green one. So this is just a really interesting color, and I'm excited to keep writing with it. We'll do a 22. And then the next one is this Kaweco Collection Sport in Iridescent Pearl. And this one I continue to keep inking it up with the Pennonia Orgona. I think when this one runs out, I may replace it, just because although I really love this color and I think it matches the pen really well, I find myself I feel like it's hard to write big paragraphs of text with this. So for journaling, it's a little difficult because it is such a super shader. And even when you're writing, it looks like you haven't laid down enough ink, but then as it dries, it shows up. And so it's kind of a weird ink to be writing a lot of text with. Collection Sport in Iridescent Pearl, and I always want to spell iridescent with 2 R's. I don't know why, it just looks so weird being 1 R, but there you go. Looks like a completely wrongly spelt word, and please tell me if I did spell it wrong. I think it's right. Okay, and we'll do a 20 as well. Yeah, so this one drives fairly fast, and as you can see, it's deepened a lot since it first was written down, and it really shows up nicely on this Campus Kikuyu paper. And my next one is another Kaweco Sport. This one is in Skyline Mint, and this is the first ever sort of serious writing fountain pen that I bought. I owned a couple of Preppies for sketching and stuff, but I searched on eBay for one of these sports because I just thought they were so cute, and this happened to be a floor model, and it was about $11 I think I got it for. It's a medium, and it was still in the wrapping. I don't know why they said it was a floor model, but it was in pristine condition, and I have loved writing with it ever since, and have also added more to my collection of these little Kawecos. So it made me fall in love with Kawecos. Or Kaweco Sports. Okay, so this one is inked with this vibrant, beautiful Kaweco Paradise Blue. And this one I believe is a cartridge. Yeah, so this is just a cartridge. So this is a Kaweco Skyline Sport in mint, and it is a medium. So I love this little guy, and he has a special place in my heart because he was my first fountain pen, sort of collector fountain pen. Okay, so the next one is my newest acquisition, which is this TWSBI Diamond 580 ALR, and I was kindly gifted this from penheaven.com. So I did a little review on that. You can check it out in my videos. And so I have been really enjoying writing with this. This ink is gorgeous. Oh, I think I'm out of view. Let me move this up. There we go. So this one is, the ink in here is Diamine Prussian Blue. And this used to be my favorite watercolor color as well, until I found out that it's not as light fast as, say, Payne's Gray, and so I stopped using it. But it was such a beautiful color. And this ink is just gorgeous because it goes on really dark and wet, and then it dries to this beautiful, almost, you know, denim blue here that's nice and moody. So I'm been really enjoying journaling with this color. This is the TWSBI Diamond 580 ALR in medium. And I don't know if this is a super wet ink or a super wet pen. Maybe it's both. You can see it's still pretty wet after 20 seconds there. Right, so the next one is my Jinhao 992, which I love these pens. These are under $2 and I think they're amazing. I find they do have a little bit of give to them, which is really nice. I don't like really sort of stiff steel nibs. Not that I own any gold nibs, but... So this one is inked with Colorverse Martian. And this is the only ink I've ever put in this pen, because once you write with Colorverse Martian, it's really hard to go back, and it just matches this Jinhao transparent coffee pen really, really well. And the Martian is such an odd color because... Oh, hang on. I can't talk and write at the same time. 1 second. 992. And this is transparent coffee. It has some really weird green undertones, and the shading on here is just bonkers. You just see all this variation in here. It's such an interesting color. And on different papers it shows more yellow, and in different papers it shows more green. That sort of secondary color, it always has the orange in it, like that deep orange, but then the undertone here where it goes lighter in the shading is either greener or yellow, depending on what paper you're on. I think this dries pretty fast, if I remember. Oh no, did I have blue on my hand? I might have tainted that smear there with the Prussian blue, but we'll see. No, yeah, so that is that green undertone that I'm talking about. It's super strange. And sometimes it won't even show in the shading of the text, but then when you pull it out like this, it has that green in there, because I washed my finger while I was waiting that 20 seconds, so it shouldn't be any of the Prussian blue in there. And then my sixth color is this 992 again, but this one has... Oh, am I out of frame? There we go. This one has Ancient Copper in it, which has become a big favorite of mine. So this is Diamine Ancient Copper, and I just find this such a pleasure to write with. I use it for my timesheets at work. I work from home and I have to sort of put in what time I've spent on projects, and to make it funner I just use different colored inks every day. But I find myself gravitating towards this particular ink in this particular pen. The fine nib on this, I find all the Jinhao fines are very similar to mediums. They're kind of really wet fines, but I just love this color. It's just such a fun color to work with. It has a lot of shading in it, but it's not a distracting shading. It just has more depth to it, but it's totally readable in the light parts. So it's really nice ink. And this is a Jinhao 992 as well, in transparent orange. And this stays fairly wet even to the 20, so just something to be mindful of. And then I think my last one is my Platinum Preppy. So this is the limited edition WA collection, and I think this is, I've got it written down somewhere, Sayagata. The Sayagata, the purple pattern on here. It's gorgeous. So in this one I have, let me slide this up. Let's see. Yes, I have Raw and Klingner, and this one is a mixture. Let me write this because my brain will not function. Klingner. And this one has, this is the sketch ink line, and it has Frida and Julie mixed together to make this purple. And this dries, you can see a little more purple in it right now. It dries more towards a very purpley gray. It doesn't shift much from this, but it definitely goes down a little platinum, a little more purple. Preppy and the WA collection, and it is I don't know how to pronounce that, I apologize. And this is a fine, this is an 03. So this is finer, definitely finer than the Diamine, than the Jinhao 992s, and it's a lot drier. So it definitely is drier than the ones above. Yeah, you can see there's hardly any. We even wait for the 20. It doesn't lay down a ton of ink using this nib and this ink. So yeah, I find this quite a dry ink. It's not uncomfortable to use, but it's definitely, you know, not as wet as any of these other ones on the list. Yeah, and we're getting hardly any smudge here. Actually, I think it's deliberately dry because it's a sketch ink, and so it's actually wonderful if you're sketching with it because it dries super fast, and then you're able to use your ink and use your wash over it with your watercolor. So these are our colors that I'm going to be using in the near future, or now into the future. I tend to favor some pens over others, so I will probably run this Diamine Prussian blue. Actually, it has a huge capacity, so I probably will take a long time to use that. But I see myself using a lot of this one. I always use a lot of the Ancient Copper. I've had to refill that a couple of times just because I use it so much for my daily timekeeping. And then I also love the Martian here. These guys I probably won't use up as fast. And Paradise is beautiful. Even in big paragraphs of text, this is really fun. I've written a couple of letters using this ink, and it's just so happy and bright, and I kind of surprised myself that I like it because I am definitely much more of an earth tone, subtle gray person, and the fact that I really like this color is kind of weirding me out, but I still love these fall colors as well. So I think this is a pretty good collection to play with for the near future. But I would love to hear from you guys what you're inking up with lately. Are you a person that likes to sort of match their inks with the season, or do you just go with whatever you're feeling in the moment? Anyway, I will update you guys when I do the next one. And thanks for joining me. I hope you have a lovely day, That's it. Okay, bye.